Hey there, we are doing Ask Mattie today. I'm excited because I've always wanted to do this. Only because I really suck at answering your questions right away when you ask me, whether it's on the blog or on Instagram or on Ask FM. So we're going to break down all of your questions today and answer them. So first I'm going to go off of the questions from my Instagram. There's a few that I'm going to answer off of Ask FM as well. Kay Dion asks, what's your top advice for branding yourself on social media? Okay, she has 3 questions, so we're going to answer them one by one. So my top advice for branding yourself on social media is going to sound super cliche, but just be yourself. And just be yourself consistently. So in saying consistently, it's like sometimes it's like, okay, you think you have to do this, then on Wednesday you think you should do that, and then on Friday you think you should do this, and it's like, no, just be consistently yourself. Some people are just really naturally funny and give really great commentary on pop culture, and so they do that. I think some people are really good at sharing like what celebrities wore and where to find either like a more affordable version or anything like that, so maybe do that as well. But I think it's about being consistent, and I think really engaging in dialogue where it's necessary. If you see somebody talking about something that you're passionate about or that you're interested in as well, definitely throw your 2 cents in, but definitely from a positive standpoint. I think that's important as well. So as far as social media and branding is concerned, I think just making sure that you're consistent, you're being yourself, I think you'll create a really sound voice on social media. Number 2, do you prepare a schedule as to which info you put out during the week? Absolutely. I definitely try to make some kind of schedule, but as far as like videos and outfit posts and all of that, I definitely try to shoot ahead of time and then post on my blog. Not only do I contribute to 3 other websites, but then I also am a mom and then I'm a wife. So you have to do those things ahead of time or else you'll literally pull your hair out of your head. So I do have some sort of schedule. Usually I try my best at least to get some kind of content out on Monday and Tuesday, just because they tend to be heavier traffic days on my blog. So yeah, a schedule is really important. Number 3, is it okay to shoot outfit of the day for the week on one day and post them throughout the week? Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, unless you have the luxury of blogging full time and your spouse or your significant other is your photographer, I think you kind of have to, I know that I do that, and my husband is my photographer in most cases. So I absolutely shoot outfit of the day posts. Like I kind of cluster shoot and then like spread them out throughout the week. Anita asks, what's your skincare routine? This is very interesting because I feel like I don't have like the best skin. I don't think I have horrible skin. Right now I use a face wash. It's a vitamin C kind of brightening and clarifying wash, and it's great for just like if you don't wear makeup, but I think it's really great too because it gets rid of all of the makeup and makes sure that your pores are really clean. So I use that. It's a wash by Jason, which is a really great company. It's all natural products. I will link it below. And then I always use a toner. Right now I'm using this Lavender Witch Hazel, which is absolutely amazing. And I use that both in the evening and in the morning. And it has aloe in it, so it doesn't like strip your skin. And even if you're oily, it tends to be moisturizing. It doesn't add additional oil. And last but not least, I moisturize. I'm a really big fan of like the Say Knives moisturizer, which is almost like a cold cream. But I just started recently using the priming moisturizer from Glossier, the product line from Emily from intothegloss.com. This moisturizer is just like, it is so awesome, and it's great because it does act as a primer as well if you're about to put on makeup, but it works perfectly too if you're just bare skin. So I definitely always cleanse, I definitely always tone, and then I always moisturize, and then of course I'll do extra stuff if I have like a blemish or if I need to mask or exfoliate. I try to do my best to exfoliate at least 2 to 3 times a week because that's really important, especially for somebody like myself because I have large pores. And I mean, I'll exfoliate with a home kind of face scrub or body scrub, which is just like some brown sugar, some olive oil, and some honey, or I'll use like St. Ives apricot scrub, you know, whatever I can get my hands on and that makes me feel good. So yeah, that's what I do for skincare. Gabrielle asks, what nail lacquer colors do you most recommend for fall? For fall, I totally love like deep wine kind of Merlot colors. My absolutely favorite fall color for your nails is Soulmate by Essie, which is soul like your foot. I absolutely love it. It's just such a great deep color. But if you're not into darker colors, I definitely say opt for like grays. I don't have any specific kind of like color off the top of my head that I can think of, but I love grays and kind of like charcoal colors for the fall. I think they're really great and they act as a neutral. So I think they go really well for the season as well. So Great Mommies to Be on Instagram asks, what advice would you give someone starting out in the world of blogging? With it being so flooded with thousands of bloggers, what's the first step to make in building your brand? I think it goes back to what I said about social media. I think it's about being consistently yourself, and I think like, you know, just having a sounded voice and just kind of narrowing and focusing on what makes you different from everybody. I think because you're in a place that is so flooded, I mean, there's so many bloggers, there's so many YouTubers, there's so many people on social media, you have to be really careful not to just blend in. I don't think you should, you know, be different for the sake of being different, because I don't think that's authentic either. But I think you should really, you know, focus on what makes you special or what makes you stand out. I think you should pay attention to what people like about you and really gravitate towards that and build on it. So yeah, I think when it comes to building your brand, being original and being authentic is so important, because people can see through the fluff. They don't like it. It's just like, if being funny isn't your shtick, don't try to force it. But yeah, I think that's one thing that people tend to not think of. I think they should do X, Y, and Z, and it's really like, no, just be yourself. Just make sure you have a voice and make sure that you gravitate towards what makes it original. You know, that's what usually makes you stand out amongst a bunch of people doing the same thing. Hopefully that helped and it didn't sound like a broken record, but that's really what I take from, I guess, building a brand, especially in the digital space. So now I'm going to answer some questions from Ask FM. And on Ask FM, I'm Mattiology. I'm the same thing on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook. What tools or apps do you use to stay organized? I think this is a really good question. I am like a Google Calendar fiend. If it's not on my Google Calendar, as far as I'm concerned, it's not happening or it did not happen. If I don't, I'll forget. I'm just one of those people. I think because of my mom, she always wrote a things to do list. So I still physically write a things to do list, but then I still put it on my Google Calendar if I have like appointments and different things like that. I think too, just because I wear so many hats in so many different aspects of my life. You know, personally, you know, I'm married, I'm a mom, I have stuff for myself, so you kind of have to balance everybody's schedule for them, just to make sure everybody's good, whether it's doctor's appointments or going to church or, you know, family members' birthdays. There's just so much to balance out. But then on the other end, from a professional side, I still do have a 9-to-5. I write for my own blog, and then I freelance for 3 other sites. So you kind of have to come up with some kind of system, or just like write things down just so you don't become a lunatic. So yeah, Google Calendar and just like a standard things to do list is really kind of what I go to, because if I don't, I will be a mess. I know that everyone is Scandal crazy, but are there any other shows you watch on ABC? I'm really into Nashville and Once Upon a Time, 2 totally different but awesome shows in my opinion. Yeah, it's so funny because I used to, I mean, of course I still love Scandal, I still watch it, even though for me, it took a little bit for me to start to get into this season of Scandal. I don't know if I don't know if I had just set my expectations too high, but yeah, it's starting to get good now. But yeah, it definitely started out a little bit slow for me. My husband used to really be into Once Upon a Time, and then he stopped watching because he was like, they're doing too much. And now that there's kind of like this Elsa person on there, kind of, you know, I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, they're doing too much. If you're pulling Frozen in to like your original fairy tales and all of that, it's just too much. no, it's too much. One show that we are really into is The Walking Dead, and we also really like The Blacklist, which is on NBC with James Spader. Absolutely love that. We actually got into the show when it was, this is the second season, but we watched the first season on Netflix before the second season started, and I absolutely loved it. And now I watch it live on NBC. I think it comes on Monday nights. And sometimes I miss it because I'm doing a bunch of things, but it'll come on demand the next day. So that's what I really like about it. Other than that, I tend to gravitate towards comedies. We really like The Mindy Project. We love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I really like Blackish, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else I like. I like Mulaney, which was a new show with this comedian John Mulaney, but it just got canceled. But I really like him. I think he's really funny. But you guys should like Google him or YouTube him if you're not familiar with him. But I think he's hilarious. And I love The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and The Roots. I just think it's perfection. But other than that, I think I kind of just I kind of slowed down on reality shows too. I love Tamar and Vince because I'm a Tamar fan. And then that's it. I mean, I'm kind of trying to think if I'm missing anything else. No, that's pretty much it. What is your 9 to 5, if you don't mind me asking? Is it fashion related? I'm new to your blog and just wondering. I'm a showroom manager for a home decor company. I'm not going to name them just to, just for the sake of privacy, but yeah, it's creative. I'm basically like the assistant to the director of visual merchandising. There's like a variety of showrooms in the company, but I maintain the 2 showrooms here in Atlanta, and I love it. We have 2 huge home shows throughout the year that I'm responsible for taking care of, as far as like, setting up the showrooms and making sure that clients are taken care of. So it's cool. I really like it. I still get to be creative, but not in the fashion or beauty sense, which I like because I think it would be overkill if it was like a fashion and beauty company as far as I'm concerned. I like coming home and being able to use that energy for my blog and for the sites that I freelance for. What is your favorite piece of clothing? Denim. You can do so much with jeans. I think you can dress them up, you can dress them down. And jeans is a classic. It makes sense everywhere, whether you're in America, you're in Africa, you're in Asia, you're in Europe, you can wear denim and it makes sense. I really like it. Yeah, I love it. It's just great. You can't go wrong with jeans. What advice would you give to a 20-year-old looking for some direction in life? You're 20, you still have so much time. I know they say life is short, but you still have so much time. I mean, I think I would just really just enjoy growing and moving forward and just getting experience and really being present in those experiences. Just figure out what you really love to do, not what you went to school for. Figure out what you love to do, and then figure out how to get people to pay you for it, to be completely honest, Yeah, just do a lot of reading. I think your 20s are a really, really good time to read. I think, well, to be honest, any time is. Really take advantage of internships, take advantage of jobs and once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, because that experience is going to set you up for success. Even if you do fail at them, if you're not good at something, this is the time to find out, So in your 30s and your 40s, when you do establish yourself in your career, you know what it is you want, what it is you're good at, what it is that you're willing to do, and what it takes to get there. So yeah, just do a lot of reading and be present. This is another good question. Narsha wants to know, what are some of your favorite books, either related to the work you do or to life in general, that you'd recommend? I tell people this all the time. I don't care what it is you do, who you are, young, old, black, white, boy, girl, whatever. Read 48 Laws of Power. It just changed my life. It changed the way I approach things. I definitely think it helped me. 48 Laws of Power is awesome. To be honest, I try to read it at least once a year just to refresh on it because it's that good. It's really, really good. 48 Laws of Power is by Robert Greene. Confidence is it's another really great book. I actually read it the year I read it the year I got married and won Miss Liberia, which was in 2009. Such a great book. It actually it was written by a Harvard business professor. Her name is Rosabeth Moss Cantor. That's the author. She actually did a whole bunch of research on teams and companies who always tend to win and who always tend to be successful. She basically studied the psychology of the confidence within the employees or the players, and it was just remarkable. It was a really, really great book. The Dip by Seth Godin is also another really great one. Love, 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 love that book. Love Seth Godin, love his blog. If you do not already read his blog, you should definitely check it out. It's really inspiring. Anything by John C. Maxwell is awesome. I really enjoyed Failing Forward and Developing the Leader Within You, and he has another one called Developing the Leaders Around You. So I think those are really great books. But yeah, just anything you could read. I'm actually currently reading The Honest Life by Jessica Alba, and next after that I'm going to read Instinct by T.D. Jakes. I love to read when I get the chance to. I definitely make it my business to. I don't think anybody's successful or doing anything worthwhile. They're all of those people are reading. Don't think that they're not. It's really, really important. But I love those books that I just mentioned and those authors, so be sure to check them out. How did you first start blogging, and why did you want to blog? I started blogging in 2008. You can check out the blog at Mattie. Mattie.blogspot.com. It was on Blogger. And I really started doing it leisurely in 2008 just to really kind of escape. And then in 2010, I got serious about Mattiology. Excuse me, that was really sexy. In 2010, I started blogging on Mattiology.com. I had just won Miss Liberia. I was married, so I just kind of felt like since I was transitioning into this new chapter into my life, that I should get really serious about blogging, and I realized that it was something that I like to do. So I just kind of wanted somewhere to kind of escape and share my voice. I was in retail and I was in management, so it was just a really grueling schedule. And when I got married, I stopped working for a little bit, and Mattiology was sort of my escape, and I started working again in 2012. And actually I think working really helped me become more successful in Mattiology, if that makes any sense. I think it helped me to balance time management, and it helped me to really kind of focus on producing content and not just kind of just putting whatever on the internet, which I think sometimes happens when you start a blog. You just put up anything because you're just trying to be heard or be seen, and that's not what it's always about. Have a purpose, have a focus, have a voice. And yeah, that's really why I started blogging. It was really just an avenue to share my voice. What platform did you use to host your blog before Mattiology.com? I just answered that. Blogger, which is owned by Google. If it's free, so they'll put the blogspot.com after whatever your name is. So mine was Mattiology.blogspot.com. I noticed the simplicity of your blog. Do you ever think you'll change the format in the future? I've kind of just tweaked it recently. This month I'm just adding little tweaks and to me making it a little bit quote unquote prettier. But for me, I like simple. I think less is more. I think you really get the essence of something when it's kind of stripped down. You kind of just get to focus on the meat of something, the substance of it. So I like simple. It tends to serve me as a blogger well. How do you maintain your relationship and marriage? Most important things that have helped make your marriage successful. I am by no means a relationship expert. I have been married for 5 years, and the one thing that I have noticed that always makes our marriage go well is respect first. Even before love, to be completely honest, because somebody can love you and disrespect you, but respect is really important, and it's really important to men, I've realized. When somebody respects you, I think it's a whole thing. They respect your time, they respect who you are as a person. When you respect someone, it makes it easy to like them, it makes it easy to love them. And I think another thing that has been really important to me, especially as I've grown as a blogger, is that realizing that my relationship is for myself and my husband. I am totally candid about if my husband does something awesome, but for the most part, you can't really have too many hands in your relationship. So that includes your parents, your siblings, and all of that. You have to do what's right for you. I think as long as nothing illegal or, physically or emotionally harmful is happening to you, whatever you guys decide is up to you. That's how we raise our family, how we run our household. And so I think once you establish that, I think really it should be, not that it should be easy, but you shouldn't have that many problems. Keep things between you and your spouse, your significant other, and just always make sure you respect that person. I think that is so, so, so important. Respect is just so key, and I think that's something that people forget. I think sometimes, especially women, we are more emotional, so sometimes we're like, ooh, love, I want to be in love, 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 and it's like, no, respect is really, really key as well. So yeah. How can someone become a style blogger and build a platform as you have? Just start. I know that sounds crazy, but just start. You're not going to be awesome when you start. I think that should be said. You're gonna suck for a little bit, but you have to suck a little to really know how to become better, and each day is a new, it's same thing with me too. I mean, even from my videos to my blog layout, every day I try to get better, but I look back like a year from now, or from a year ago, and I see how I've grown, and you have to give yourself that credit. So know that you have to start at square one, but you have to start. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. It's one of my favorite quotes, and it's so true. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. This was like a lot of, actually, I mean, I like the questions. This was like a lot of like blogging questions and stuff like that. But if you guys have any more questions at all, from hair, from makeup, from life, relationships, blogging, YouTube, whatever, social media, please let me know. I'm gonna try to do Ask Mattie. I don't want to say monthly because I don't know if you guys have that many questions, but definitely a lot more regularly. I think it's fun. I love answering the questions. And I feel like sometimes when you guys ask me on Twitter or Instagram, sometimes I can forget. But definitely check me out on Twitter, Instagram, AskFM, Facebook at Mattieology. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Let me know what other videos you want to see. And if you have a question for me, hashtag it Ask Mattie and leave it in the comments below or put it on Twitter and I will be sure to get to it. I hope you guys are having a good one. Talk to you later.